extending the date. So I was really confused about how to use this such a wonderful time, that free time that we have, that how can we use it effectively. So this was one of the times when I came across Ashok Kumar sir's post on LinkedIn, which spoke about a course on construction management. So we all know that construction management is one of the most important branches of civil engineering that is, trying to keep up with the industry currently. So it is one of the most on-demand topics, that is the very important topic in construction industry. So that is why I chose to join the course, short-term course on construction management. So it was one of the most pleasant experience that I've ever had in online learnings. So we had lots and lots of experienced and very knowledgeable teachers who came and taught us the practical experience that one should necessarily have when they are entering a construction industry. So we covered almost all the important parts of construction site, that is right from starting from construction methods, what are the various activities that take place in a construction site, what are the different steps involved, the standard procedures, and also the project planning and scheduling, which is the most important part of a project. It was wonderfully explained by Mr. Gandhi sir. So we really enjoyed those classes a lot, and also the quantity surveying by Mr. Anant Narayan sir. That was also very knowledgeable and very helpful for us. And also contracts management, which is often ignored by students because they think that it is a quite complicated topic. But then our Ashok sir made it very, very easy, and very easy for us to understand and apply it when we enter into the construction industry. So we also had around 25 webinars, all of them from people who have experience in the construction industry for a long, long time. So we had one of the most important and also the most ignored topics, right from waterproofing, quantity surveying, airport construction, all those things. So we got a lot to learn from these webinars. So let us start off with introduction. So first, construction management. Construction management is the process of planning, coordinating, monitoring, and controlling of a construction project. So this style of project management is especially designed for construction industry. So many people ask the question, why construction management? Why is it so booming in the industry right now? Why are so many people talking about it? So what construction management, why is it necessary, is because it involves all the small details that are often ignored by many people. So those small details make the difference when talking about the successful, how successful a project is or how much profit has been made. So all the small details are included in this project, right from the schedule, the budget, and is everything falling according to place, is there any lack in the steps or in the activities. So all these are taken care by construction management. So also the soft skills are very important for a construction manager, which ensures effective communication between all the teams in a construction project. That we know that there are at least 5 to 10 teams, different teams that are working in a construction site. So there has to be an effective communication between each parties. If there is any communication gap, then it might lead to destroying the work and redoing it again. So that is a waste of time and money. So to avoid that, construction managers make sure that the communication between all the parties are smooth and up to date. So the scope of construction management in India. So as we know, India wants to be a $5 economy by 2025. So for that to happen, construction industry has a very important role, because it is one of the most contributing sectors in India, and it is growing by 7 to 8% every year. So it is estimated that by 2025, the size of construction industry in India will be the third largest in the world. That is almost 1 trillion US dollars. So when this construction industry is expanding at such a rapid rate, it's definitely it's obvious that there is a dire need of better construction managers, project managers, who will see to it that the project is completed on time within the stipulated resources and the budget. So that is why I realized that construction management is so important for every civil engineer to learn. And I got this wonderful opportunity to join Prajna Construction Management Institute. So one of the first classes that we started with was construction methods. So even though it says a construction manager, it is very important for a construction manager to know all the technical aspects, because the construction management is all about balancing between the technical aspects and the management aspects of a project. So to know the technical aspects, we had these many classes which spoke about the construction steps that are involved right from pre-construction. Basically, the construction project is divided into three major categories. That is pre-construction, the actual construction stage, and post-construction. So the pre-construction, which is hardly as a student, I never knew that there are so many activities that are involved before the construction of the project. Right from mobilization advance, the issue of letter of intent, the drawings, then the cleaning of site, and then handing over, and then the marking, and then we move on to the construction stage, where it is further subdivided into substructure and superstructure. So many important activities like excavation, the filling, anti-termite treatment, PCC, backfilling, shuttering, and concrete work. All these happens in the construction stage in the substructure. Superstructure is almost similar, just that there will be no footing works. We carry on with the columns again, then rebar, shuttering, and concreting for the other RCC elements. So then we, put the rebar for the ground floor slab. We do slab level checks and electrical conduits, all those things. And then one of the most important part, which associates, it supplements the other construction activities, that is the finishing. So people don't who are buying homes don't care about if the beam is built properly or column is built properly. They only care about the finishing, how good the home looks, how good the project looks. So finishing is the most important part. So it involves the brickwork, plastering, scaffolding, plastering, the wall chasing for electrical conduits, the internal wall plastering, the waterproofing, which makes sure that the water is not uh, percolated into the building. So these are all important parts. Also the flooring and finishes, where we take care of removing the dead mortar, and kitchen wall tiling, room floor tiling, all those things. And then external works, which involves electrical pumping, then car parking systems, again rainwater harvesting system, which is compulsory for every project right now. And then the external painting, and then we hand over the site to the client. So that was a brief introduction about construction steps. So there are many more detailed steps that are involved, which has to be very which has to be learned in a very extensive way by a construction manager. So then we learned about project planning and scheduling. So this might seem as a very simple and common topic, but the amount of details that is involved in the project planning and scheduling is immense. So planning is basically defining a process of what we are going to do in the project in a systematic way. So that process will include all the resources that we have, the time that we are going to spend, and the cost which is given, the budget. So planning can be either manually done or by the use of project management software. So basically planning is divided into three parts, that is time planning, resource planning, and cost planning. So time planning is it's obvious that it involves the timeline where the work or activities are broken down, and it is to be executed in the sequential manner within the given time. Resource planning deals with the allocation of available resources to the activities, so that it is allocated in the most feasible and the most productive way. that no labor is just just wandering around the project without any work. So they have to be allocated in such a way that everybody is working all the time in the most productive way. The cost planning, it refers to the allocation of money from the given budget to each of the activities to make sure that the project is not exceeding the budget and that all the activities are taking place within the stipulated cost. So what is the need for project planning? Project planning ensures that the project is completed with utmost quality, without any errors, without any fault. So it has to be also completed within the time. It is not okay if the project is being delayed by 2 or 3 years, but you're delivering a high quality. So customers don't care about the quality if the project is delayed by 1 or 2 or 3 years. So the project planning ensures that it is with high quality and also within the stipulated time, also within the budget cost. So customers don't prefer spending a lot of money just so they can get a high quality project. It also should be within the budget. So we move on to the next very next topic, that is the scheduling. So scheduling is a mechanism to communicate what tasks have to be executed, and we allocate the resource and the time frame as well. So scheduling takes care of which task is to be done, when and within what time. So it has a great deal of importance as it takes care of allocation of resources, time, and all those things. So project scheduling is basically most widely done by Microsoft Project. So it is a wonderful application, that is software that is developed by Microsoft. It is designed to assist a manager in developing a schedule that is used to assign the resources. It is also used to track the progress and manage the budget and also analyze the workloads, everything. So the basic steps that are to be followed in any project scheduling are given below. That is, we have to first create a project, then we create the project calendar where we give the work timings, whether it is 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and then all the holidays that we are including in the calendar. So we also give the input of the project information, that is when we are starting, what is the deadline, all those things. Then we modify the time according to our requirements, entering the sequence of activities, then mentioning the predecessors, successors, all those things, then identifying the critical path and the total flow pace. So this is how typical MS project schedule would look like. So then we move on to the next very important topic, that is quantity surveying. So quantity surveying these days is gaining a lot of importance in the construction industry. It is it mainly deals with estimation, planning, and control of cost of construction projects. So it includes very important topics like value engineering, feasibility studies, cost planning, etc. So the roles of a quantity surveyor, it is ever never ending. So the list goes on. So the most important and the main roles are mentioned here. That is the estimation of quantities as per the tender drawings, the review of book of quantities received from consultants, then studying the good for construction drawings and preparing the pre-estimation of quantities. And the quantity survey is also required to audit the bill and not to certify the bill. Certification is the responsibility of respective project teams. So coordination with the project team, procurement team, coordinator, the communication is very important. Quantity survey is also required to audit the final bill. So these are some of the responsibilities that a quantity surveyor is assigned with. So it is safe to say that a person or a professional who is wanting to pursue a career in quantity surveying should be perfect with the bill of quantities, the contracts management, then technical aspects such as studying the drawing and also the latest trends of prices of the material, so that they don't get cheated by these small vendors. So then we move on to contracts management. As I said, many students or budding civil engineers tend to avoid this topic because it seems complicated, but it is very important and very excellent topic to know. So a contract is basically divided into two stages, that is pre-contract and post-contract. So the pre-contract involves the types of contract, the general conditions that are involved, the main points that are to be considered, the special conditions, that any special clauses that the company should know, the technical specifications, the bill of quantities, site investigation, estimation and costing, award of contract. So these are all the activities that are involved in pre-contract. So coming to post-contract, post-contract involves letter of intent, that it outlines the understanding between two or more parties, and the letter of acceptance. It is basically a document that is issued after the agreement of the project. So work order, it is an order issued for a definite scope of work to be performed or in the job order contract. So the budget, after getting the work order, the cost of each and every item is worked out, and the budget is framed, which is to be followed. And the material reconciliation and the virtual completion. Virtual completion basically means that the work has been completed in every aspect, that is confirming to the contract documents, and it is ready for occupation and commissioning. So these are all the things that are involved in post contract. So coming to types of contract, so we have for many categories or many types of contract. So the most common or the most popular types are the item rate. An item rate contract is a type where which is undertaken on per price or item basis. So it is a type where the contractor works and then gets paid per item. So the quote rate is based on the quantity manufactured or work done by them. So we also have another type where it is called as lump sum or fixed rate. It is a type where the construction related activities are regulated with a fixed price that is decided before the project starts. So essentially, if the lump sum contract was signed, it would be very challenging to obtain any credit back for an uncompleted job. So we also have turnkey. Turnkey project is basically where the contractor takes care of everything from starting to end, and the client has to just take the key and turn. That is what basically what the name signifies, turnkey. So we have the opposite of it, which is called non-turnkey, where the job is done to the according to the client's specifications, whatever they want. So then we also have design and build contract. Design and build is a term that it describes the procurement route in which the main contractor is appointed to design and construct the work, which is quite unlike a traditional contract where the client appoints consultants to design the development and then a contractor is appointed. So we also have the another category which is called as cost plus contract. So cost plus contract is basically, in simple words, it is a contract where the contractor is awarded the money whatever is required to finish the job, also including that an additional amount which is taken as a profit by the contractor. So the general conditions that a contract involves is the notice inviting tender, the submission details, the time duration, the insurance, labor license, basic price, the taxes and the damage, etc. So then we move on to the webinar learnings. I think this was one of the most beneficial parts of the short-term course that we did, because we almost got to speak with more than 20 different construction professionals in the industry who have a lot of experience in different fields. So we almost had around 25 different webinars. So the first one was the career in quantity surveying. by Mr. Sandeep sir. So he gave an excellent overview about the quantity surveying, how the industry is, what are the different roles that a quantity surveyor should have, the scope of quantity surveying in India compared to how it is abroad. Then what is the the change in methodology of quantity surveying and the adaptability between India and abroad. So he also explained this beautiful graph which talks about how the opportunity varies with cost or vice versa. So in the initial stages of the project, that is basically the planning, where the projects are just being still developed, the idea is being generated. So there you have a lot of opportunity to change or tweak things according to your desire, and it will cost at least, I mean, almost zero. So as the time progresses, as the project progresses, we move on to the production phase, where we start executing and finishing the project. So there, if any change is to be done, the opportunities are very less. If it has to be done by all means, then it sure means that the destructive intervention takes place, where it obviously leads to increasing of cost. So whatever is already done has to be destroyed and then rebuilt. So that is why the opportunity is very less and the cost is very high. So then we move on to the next very important topic in the construction project, that is facade. Facade engineering is it is considered to be not very popular in India, but very it is given a lot of importance in abroad. So facade is basically the art and science of dealing with the aesthetics, the environmental and structural concepts to achieve complete enclosure of a building. So in simple words, it refers to the exterior of a building. It sets the tone. Whatever people see, the first they see the building from the outside. So if the exteriors of a building are not very convincing, then that means that the overall the project has been let down. So the key purposes of facade are to make the structure look architecturally pleasing, to make it look beautiful from the outside. It provides an outer skin to the building, and it also acts as a physical barrier between the inner conditioned space and the outer unconditioned space. So the most common misconception is that the facade only deals with the exterior looks of a building, which is not true, because facade does actually a lot more than that. So it takes care of the HVAC systems. It is responsible to withstand all the climatic and environmental conditions, such as changes in the wind, the fire, etc. So they also take care of weather resistance, acoustics. So these are the types of facade systems that are used in the modern multi-story buildings. The brickwork or the stone masonry, which is considered to be one of the oldest facade systems. The modern systems include the glass and steel systems and the aesthetic weather-tight veneers. So there are a lot of softwares mm, which are used to apply the facade systems, that is Fenesta Pro, Athena, and Vicona. So next we move on to formwork and scaffolding. So this was done by Mr. Sandeep sir. So formwork is basically it is used as a mold for a structure in which we pour the fresh concrete. So the types of concrete formwork depends upon the specifications of the project. It depends on the type of structural elements also. So a project manager expects the construction to happen in a fast and effective manner. So the type of formwork is very important. So the key parameters for selecting a formwork is the number of pour. Like, is it like one time use, or is it supposed to be used for multiple times? Also the timeline, for how long the project is supposed to go on, the concrete pressure, the site conditions, and the finishing. Uh, then we move on to scaffolding. Scaffolding is a temporary structure which is built to support the basically the laborers who who climb on the scaffolding to finish the construction works. So basically, we have five main types of scaffolding. That is the tube and coupler components, the prefabricated modular systems, the H-frame system, the facade modular systems, and also the timber scaffolds or the bamboo scaffolds, which we see the wide application in many of the residential projects where we use timber scaffoldings. So the each type is made from several components. We have the base jack or the plates, which is basically the load bearing base of the scaffold. We have the horizontal brace that is called a ledger. We also have a cross section bracing component. We have a coupler which is used for fitting the components together, and we have brackets which is used to extend the width of the working platform. Then one of the most interesting webinars that we had is the airport construction, uh, which is not at all involved in any syllabus of many of the universities. So this was a very knowledgeable session to us, which dealt with many systems, the teams that work in an airport to ensure the smooth flowing of passengers. So airport development parameters, so there are many things that have to be taken care before that have to be analyzed before an airport is built. That is first with the number of passengers that are visiting the airport, also the orientation of the proposed landing and the weather conditions, like is it safe to build an airport there, or is there any other location that is nearby that location which has lesser weather changes. The number of movements per day, how many airlines are at the airport, how many planes are planned to be landing and taking off per day. Also the number of passenger bags that are expected, because one of the biggest systems in an airport is the baggage handling system. So it is very important that the baggage handling system goes smooth, so that the passengers get their bags after the flight. They get their respective bags correctly. So also the predicted passenger growth, like in 10, 15, or 20 years, what is the predicted number of passengers that will be using the airport. So design considerations, we have design methodologies, the functional relationships, all the service facilities, etc. So we have basically four operation models. So that is the state-owned airports, the private airports, the government-owned airports, and defense air bases. So defense air bases are maintained by the defense forces of India. So they take care of all the the how the facilities or the functions happen. So the various systems in an airport include the ground power unit, the GPUs, which take care of the the electricity supply to the entire airport, and the fuel hydrant system, which takes care of filling the fuel into the aircraft, the gate operating system, the visual docking guidance system, which shows the pilot where the plane is supposed to go after the landing, as I said, the baggage handling system, and also the aeronautical ground lighting. So these are the lights which are basically fixated on the runways. So these help the pilot guide the plane towards the runway to the correct spot. Then we had home inspection services. This was quite a very new topic to us, but very interesting. So home inspection, it is basically a non-invasive and limited examination of the condition of a built house. So it is connected to the transaction of that home. It is done before, basically after the customer has bought, and then the company basically inspects the level of quality of the construction. So presently what is happening in this industry is the checks which are done before handing over a house to the owner is very basic. So the detailed assessment is ignored. So what happens is this leads to frustration of the owner when they face minor problems, which might seem very small, but then they're quite irritating. So this can be avoided by simply adopting a comprehensive inspection. So that is where the home inspection services come into play. So what they do is The objective of the home inspection is to know the construction quality from the finishing point of a view of a ready to move in project. So if there are any flaws that are there in the construction house, the finishing. So the key elements of a home inspection, basically it involves a home inspector which after the appointment they visit the location and they have a checklist, and they take care of all the checking. After they have a predefined set of the things that have to be followed. So after the inspection is completed, they issue an inspection report. The report will have all the major flaws which might lead to a problem. Now, one of the important things that has to be looked upon here is that the home inspection services do not provide a solution to the problems. This makes sense because 10 different people would have 10 different solutions to one single project or one single problem. So the home inspection services do not suggest any solution. So it is left to the owner of how they go upon solving the problem. So the market potential in India is very huge. After the Real Estate Regulation Authority came up with a new set of rules and regulations. So by 2025, the real estate sector is set to contribute to around 13% of the overall country's GDP. So the real estate market is set to grow to around $180 billion by the end of 2020. So which might be hampered a little because of the COVID-19, but still there is a huge opportunity. So home inspection services was a wonderful session that we had. We got to learn a lot, which was a very new topic to us. And then we had the finishing and construction that was taken care by Mr. Suresh sir. So it was a very huge topic that we learned for around 4 to 5 days. So basically, we learned a lot about the masonry. What are the types of masonry? That is the brick masonry, the solid block, the composite, the granite. So also the masonry walls, and what are the different types of bonds that are involved in the brick masonry. So brick masonry is one of the most widespread used masonry in India. So basically, there are four types of bonds: stretcher bond, Flemish, English, and header. So we learnt about the compressive strengths that a concrete masonry block has to undergo. So it has a set of predefined procedure which has to be followed to make sure that the block which we are using is up to the mark, that it has the minimum compressive strength that it should have to avoid any structural failures in the future. So we also learned a lot about plastering. What is the types of plastering? That is, we have lime rendering, the gypsum, the plain cement, and stucco rough. So the main differences between cement plastering and gypsum plastering is that the cement plastering has to be mixed on site, so it takes a lot of time and labor to get the cement plastering up and running. Whereas in a gypsum plastering, it is ready mix, so you just have to get it to the site and start using. As I said, it consumes a lot of time, the cement plastering, so hence it increases the labor cost. Whereas for the gypsum, it saves time as it is already ready mix. So it is not fire resistance. The cement plastering does not provide any resistance to fire, whereas the gypsum finished surfaces are heat resistant as well as fire resistant. Also, the setting time of cement varies from 60 to 160 minutes, almost 2.5 to 3 hours. But whereas for a gypsum, the maximum is 20 to 25 minutes. The plastering is finished and it is set. So we save a lot of time by using gypsum plastering. Then we move on to flooring, where we learned about the different types of flooring. That is the laminate wooden flooring, the hardwood, the mosaic flooring, the tile flooring, etc. Also, the procedure of fixing the tiles. That the tiles have to be soaked for at least half an hour before the start of work, and then we place the cement mortar, and then the batch number and the tile arrow is checked for if whether we are using the correct tile or not. Then the cement slurry has to be laid over the mortar area. and then we place the tile into position, and we carry on the tile tapping using a wooden rammer, so that we don't destroy the tiles as a whole. So flooring was a very vast topic. The finishes in construction was a very vast topic. So we learned also about the doors, with different types of doors that are used in a construction project, also the windows, the locking systems, etc. So as a whole, we learned a lot from the webinars, so around 25 webinars. So to conclude about this whole course, so it was a major upskill for me as a third year civil engineering student. Almost 90 to 95% of what we learned in this short term course, we never learned it in the last 3 years of our BTech program. So that is one of the most important problems that engineering colleges face these days, is they are not updated to the industry requirements. So this is where the gap is being built, that the industry requires the certain amount of skills that are not being met by the graduates from the engineering colleges. So this is where Prayojana Construction Management is being very helpful for a student, where they teach everything that a student should know as soon as they enter the industry. So we students, we are very thankful to Mr. Ashok Kumar sir, all the different trainers who took out their time in their busy schedule, and then they taught us in a very extensive manner. They solved all of our doubts right then and there. All the sessions were very interactive and very knowledgeable. So this was the certificate that I was provided by the Prayojana Construction Management Institute, so which I think will be very helpful for me, whether it will be for finding the right job, or applying the skills that I have learned here in the job. So I am very excited now. So 6 months ago, I was very scared before, like what I would do after joining the job. But now I am very excited to join the my professional life, where I'll be able to apply all the things that I've learned in this very short 4 weeks of stay. So I would like to thank everybody, all the people who made this course a success, gave us opportunity to learn so many things. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent presentation. And you have utilized the course fully, more than the 100%, I can say. You have taken all the contents more than that, water, because the training, whatever happens, the students used to take a bit of notes, and application will be bit less. But in your case, it was we are very much happy. Will you project the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please project it. Yeah, and the energy what you have shown, and the attentiveness, and the interest towards the program. Just for the certificate purpose, lot of people come to our webinars and ask, sir, share me the link, share me the certificate, and see, certificates ultimately that is one recognition, but the knowledge what you are getting, that matters. We believe on that. So we give quality content, and the students also graded by us. For the courses also, we do a lot of counseling, and after then only we will take for our courses. And Chetan is one like a good gem, you can say. We will still remember in the third year itself, you have taken this much syllabus, and you have gained the knowledge in the 4 weeks is enormous, you can say. By seeing this report, anyone, maybe Anantanarayan sir, he is having 40 years of experience. He can give some inputs what he has gone through. It's a
Chetan,
you have taken that
Chetan,
from great people.
Chetan,
Yes,
for
sir.
this age, you have prepared very nice. So this age and this level, what you prepare is excellent.
Thank
You
you,
have
sir.
to try more when you complete the BE or your course. Before that, I am expecting more elaborate in estimations and constructions for specifications and
Yes, sir.
other things. Okay,
Yes,
because
sir.
all the managing directors will expect from your end You will be thorough with costing. You are
Mm-hmm.
the
Great.
right hand of your MD. Everybody will think like that only. So they will ask you how to follow the project, how to do this. You can
Mm-hmm.
try in this mode, because if you prepare the costing, your quantity, costing, and planning, then you can succeed your project in very easy manner. Okay, you try
Yes,
this.
sir.
I prepared one this one regarding this. When I was in your age, I don't know about anything. I'm telling you, I'm frankly speaking, I don't know anything. Just I will
Mm-hmm.
go and just hold the rope. Mason will say this is this one. Then after that, I learned lot. I learned lot. I tried day
Mm-hmm.
and night. I tried many things. Now I'm doing one the analysis. If you put the analysis and quantity, you will get all these things: cost, material, time, everything within a stroke. You will get everything. I
Mm-hmm.
just preferred that one. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
everybody will do that one. You try it. This is your age to try.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, not you, everybody. I'm telling you, everybody try this. Or you just connect, you use your mind. Everybody is using our mind only hardly 2 to 3 minutes. You are driving the vehicle, it is अपने आप कर देगा. We are not saying we will give a throttle or these things. So once
Mm-hmm.
if you think about how to do this, how to this one, calculate this. This is your.
Mm-hmm.
So how Abdul Kalam come up in the life? He does always in research. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, all the peoples you can try it. I've showed you in Excel also. You try it. In the other thing also you try it. Then only you will
Mm-hmm.
see your life. Okay.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good,
Correct.
Chetan. All the best.
All the best, Chetan, and
I'm
Gandhi is also,
expecting,
yeah.
and after 2 years, I expecting more from your end.
Definitely, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. All welcome.
And Gandhi, would you like to add some words for sir?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Gandhi
Yeah,
was
Chetan.
making project planning for Mr. Chetan.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Chetan, very good presentation. Such an energetic and a speech also. It was very good actually. And we are only surprised. We have taken 20 plus presentation and you have noted all those things in your presentation. And each and everything you have detailed it out and all those things. As Anandanaran sir said, like you should be, we are also eager to wait in another 2 years. You should be a good engineer, and you have to come out from your this thing, your college academics. You have to get placed in a good position. Definitely, you will come up in very short in a short span. You can be growing great levels actually, and keep it up your interest on searching and researching, getting the knowledge, get that information soon. And it is very good presentation, and you have a good communication skill. You keep it up, which will help you in all those terms when you grow up. Okay, keep learning and keep training peoples also. Share your knowledges, all your things to everyone. Okay, focus
Sure,
more
sir.
and come up soon. Hmm?
Thank you, sir. All
Yes.
this has
Okay.
been possible after many training, many knowledge that all of you have given us. So we are very privileged to, gain so much of knowledge and information at such a short time, at such a young age. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
So,
Chetan, and stay connected with the Prayojana. Definitely, we are there to help you for any construction related things or career related things. Thank you.